Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to remove an IV cannula. So again, ENs are allowed to remove cannulas. Basically, your only two restrictions are you cannot insert them and you cannot put fluid through a CVAD, a central venous access device, okay? All right, so to remove a cannula, it's very, very similar to changing the dressing, the tegaderm, except that the cannula is coming out. Because it's in a vein, there will be lots of blood if you're not ready. Now, arteries spurt, veins run like a faucet. So you should not see any spurting of blood, but it is enough blood could come out that it could scare the patient. The great thing is the tape, well, it's not the great thing. The tape might be a little bit painful when it comes off, but actually removing the cannula, the patient should have no pain whatsoever. And if they do bleed, they don't have any pain when they're bleeding. You just have to apply pressure, okay? So with that being said, I like to have gauze ready. I also like to have a strip of tape ready in advance, because as soon as you take that cannula out, one of your hands has to be applying pressure, and that's not a good time to be opening a gauze package or getting a strip of tape together. So, same as before, you're going to loosen up your tegaderm. Sometimes it helps to roll the edges. If they have fragile skin, you're going to pull. See how it's loosening that way? If they've got strong skin but hairy hands, short, sharp bursts. Tell your patient they're getting a free wax job. Some people pay very good money for this service. Okay? And again, I loosen it till it's about 2 centimeters away from the insertion site. And now I double check I've got everything ready to go. Before when we changed the tegaderm, we made sure we peeled that way. Now we're going to peel this way because we're going to gather it all together. So I pull the tape back till the site's exposed. It wouldn't be bleeding at this point though because the cannula is still in, okay? I'm going to take my gauze. Usually I fold it into a little square. And now I kind of prep it so I'm ready to tip it onto the site as I pull the cannula out, okay? Good nurses pride themselves on not spilling a single drop of blood. If you do spill blood, not the end of the world, you just might have a mess to clean up, okay? So, hold the gauze there, gather up all my tape and the cannula, and as I pull it out, put the gauze down, cannula's still in him, and I keep pulling, and now I hold pressure. And I have to make sure my finger's right on that site, because if I'm slightly off, blood will be coming out, okay? Hold pressure. Now, general rule of thumb is for a patient that is not on anticoagulants, you're going to hold pressure for 1 minute. For a patient that is on anticoagulants, which most of our patients are because they're on VTE prophylaxis to try to prevent DVTs, we should be holding pressure for a minimum of 3 minutes and as long as 10 minutes. 10 minutes is a very long time to be standing here. So what can I do? So I can tape it.
Get the patient to hold it.
That's right, because tape is not enough pressure. So then you take the patient's finger and you say, can you hold pressure? You'll need to put their finger directly on it because a lot of them will be like, okay. And then they hold the edge weirdly.
So if the patient's not able to do that, do you as a nurse stay there until that
Yes.
stops? You don't get a family member to...
It depends on the family member.
Yeah.
So if I've got somebody who's already been very involved in the care, then you say, are you comfortable holding pressure for the next few minutes? And then you just let them know it's just to stop the bleeding. If it's still bleeding in the next few minutes, just give me a buzz and I'll come right back. And a lot of them would be comfortable with that because a lot of people are used to having blood drawn. We've all, even if you haven't been admitted to hospital, you've had blood drawn, it's the exact same concept, you still need to hold pressure, okay? But if the family member's not comfortable, or if I know that this person is a big bleeder, or the patient cannot hold the pressure themselves, then I will stay there, okay? Or I'll find a student to hold the pressure.
And what happens if it just continues to flow?
So then we have, you can wrap it with gauze, like with a dressing to hold more pressure, Okay, you could also apply ice packs to decrease the blood flow. Usually it doesn't get to that extent though.
Elevate.
Or elevate. Yeah, all the typical ways to stop bleeding. Again, it's in a vein, not an artery, so it is a lot easier to stop the bleeding. Okay, all right.